Philip Endean, we're going to talk about discernment of spirits and
Right.
discernment and decisions
Yeah.
in the context of leadership.
Yeah.
But before we get into it, sometimes people think this discernment thing is very complicated and really it's something for the experts.
Yeah. The answer is, I think, if they are in the position where they are asking serious questions about what's the right thing to do, how can I best serve the Lord, they've already got the most important thing.
So
And
it's happening anyway.
It's happening anyway, and I think what we can try and do in discernment workshops of various sorts is to give them a few tools to take that goodness a little bit further.
So sort of trust in your own goodness and trust that the Spirit is at work is the basic principle, isn't it?
That's a basic principle. I mean, it says at the beginning of the constitutions that what carries us forward is the love of God and the work of the Holy Spirit written on people's hearts. There's nothing Jesuit about that. That's not a priest thing.
Listen, going into the decision issue, Ignatius has 3 times for making decisions. First time is it just happens. Explain the first time a bit more.
Well, it's really quite hard because we've got very little evidence, but he seems to think there's a point where you say, this option appears and I am completely incapable of doubting that I've got to follow it. That's close to his language there.
And it's an intuition or it's a certainty or...
I don't want to push it, but his language is, it's a certainty. It's the soul follows what is shown without being able to doubt.
Okay. And the second time then seems complicated. It's movements of spirits, consolations, desolations.
I'd be a little bit wary about going down the spirit language or even the consolation desolation language. At least too quickly. It's really, think more about Ignatius reading his books on his sickbed. He's got the data coming to him. He's a sensible and reflective person, and he notices there's a difference in the reaction, a difference in the kind of influences these books that these books have on him. It's that kind of reality, noticing what fits and what doesn't fit.
Is it like about motivations then?
Yes, I suppose what's specific to the second time is precisely that you're looking at what goes on in yourself as you confront the data.
Is there a danger then of paralysis? I get so concerned about my motivations that I get suspicious of myself.
Well, yeah, there are dangers in everything, and the answer is to have intelligent ways of avoiding the dangers. Yes, but I think I would come back to that first principle of saying, in the end, you do what you reasonably can to make sure you're not fooling yourself, and then you move forward with confidence. And
Okay.
at that point, you can sort of say that if you've got it wrong, the Lord will find a way of telling you.
Okay, and the third way then is weighing the pros and cons, very factually based.
Yeah, weighing the pros and cons again is one way among a number of ways in which it could be done, but simply looking at the particular option and trying to see what would that lead to. It's a way of thinking. In other words, it's a way of thinking about the decision, focusing not so much on how I'm responding, but on what's actually out there.
And he has, he has kind of safeguards built in, or ways to keep it objective. He has a couple of things in the exercises about how to keep this third way objective.
Yes.
Explain those a bit.
Yes, you see, I think what he is concerned about a little bit is the sorts of things I've just said I don't want you to be paralysed by. He's trying to help you answer the question, how do I know I've not got it wrong? So he might say something like, imagine what I would want to have done on my deathbed.
Okay.
Now
So keeping a distance of time and
that's
space.
a way of distancing yourself from any possible things that might be quite noisy at the moment, which really don't matter.
And he has something about how to avoid one person having undue influence.
Well, that's more sort of meeting. He sort of, at a certain point, he suggests that rather than let everybody talk in the order that the Spirit moves them, actually to go round in a fixed order. I think, from memory, it's by order of age or seniority in the society. These days, in say province congregations or something like that, we tend to do it by alphabetical order of surname. But so instead of the discussion being carried by charismatic person